New Year is just around the corner, and I'm spending the days between Christmas. Here we celebrate Christmas Eve and not Christmas Day. And I'm spending the days in between Christmas Eve and New Year making some guitar pedals, recording the videos, making them for you guys, so that you will have something to enjoy in the beginning of the year. And the unthinkable thing happened. My soldering iron broke. Anyway, I had to buy this one. This is the CFH LD 221 soldering station. And I was thinking that we would start off this video. I mean, we've already started off, but we will unbox this together and see what you get. And then we'll start it off as sort of, see what happens. You know, I'll just solder a couple of wires or something. And then we'll do a time skip. And I'll come back in a month's time, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so here's the box. And you can see on the package it's like a soldering station where you can control the heat, and a soldering iron and a little station next to it that is for cleaning the tip and holding the tip. Because obviously you can't just have this lying around. If you have it lying around and it's turned on, you're going to start a fire. So let's open this up and just take a look. And this is not going to be potentially, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say that this is not going to be in-depth review. Because maybe I will not do that. We'll never know. Okay, first off, here we have the manual, which you probably should read. I'll take a look at it later, but not right now. And here we have a little box. We'll take a look and see what that is in a second. And then here we have the okay, it's a little strangely packaged where this needs to go on the side. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, it's so tiny. I thought this would be a lot bigger. I'm already worried. And here we have the right. A nice box. I'll put it over here for now. That's so much smaller than I thought it would be. Look at it. I mean, like if you compare the two. It's like 1/3 the size or something. I really like this one. It was a good solid thing, and I hope that I won't be disappointed by this one. I'm not going to plug it in immediately because I need to take a look at everything else first, but I need to pull this wire along here in a bit so that I can plug it in, and I want it to be a little bit neat. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah, okay, so what is this? This is probably the base. Okay, another box. This one is can use to store something, maybe? Okay, what is this? Okay, so here is our tip. I'm already annoyed because this feels like a convoluted system that will make it hard for me to switch out the tip. I have all these extra tips that I bought. Here is one, for example. This is an old one. I just switched on the other one before it broke. And I'm pretty sure I'll never get this one to fit in here. You know? Like if I put it in here, it's not gonna... Actually, it does fit. But I probably won't fit, like this goes over there. Yeah. That's annoying. I kind of wish that there would be one standard size that everyone followed, instead of everyone having their own tips and making everything convoluted and weird and strange and hard for me and hard for everyone else. I mean, maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I wish I didn't have to have it be wishful thinking. I feel like I should tighten this more, but it's like, it's annoying. Come in. Yeah, see? You just have something to hold on. You notice you can really tighten it a lot more. Okay, so here we have a thing, and it's like supposed to go in there, I suppose. It can go in on both sides. So here's my first thing that I've noticed that I think it has this ridge here, and it's supposed to be clicked in there. And I can click it in here, but if I do, it will be turned around the other way. Like it fits in there. So maybe, I mean, I'm gonna have to put it here. Which, I know some of you might be like, yeah, that's where you're supposed to put it anyway. But you have to understand, I'm left-handed. So it's a little bit strange for me. Because I kind of want it on the opposite side. I thought this was gonna go in and be really wiggly. I mean, it's a little wiggly, but it feels kind of, it feels very securely in there. So there we go. And then here that is, which we're gonna try out. See? Okay, I think that's it. So, I don't think I have to look at the manual for this, because I mean, obviously I know enough, and this is not like a super convoluted thing. But give me a sec to just put this over here. Maybe I can clean this up a little bit. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So I put it here, and I can already tell one thing, and that is this is kind of small and flimsy, and it's kind of light. I like that it's smaller because it takes up less space, but I wish it was heavier because I feel like I'm gonna knock this over. The other one was big and bulky and solid, and you could never accidentally hit it and it would fall over. But this one, I feel like if I hit it with my hand like this, if I knock it over, the whole thing will fall, which I don't like. Which means that I'm gonna most likely, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna do it, but when we come back to this and it's been a month, you most likely will see that I've made some sort of wooden thing for this to stand on to widen it a little bit. It's pretty nice if you need to take your soldering iron with you to different places, but I don't think I will be doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna turn it on, and we're gonna check out the display. But first, I just want to say that I did moisten this up and put it there. And if you're new to soldering and you're watching this and you're thinking like, oh, how do I know if I've put enough water in that? I say drench it in water and then squeeze it lightly with your fingers until you can hold it and droplets are not falling anymore. That's how I do it. And if you listen, maybe you can hear that it is still moist. So yeah, let's zoom in and take a look at this display and just see if we can figure out how it works. So there we have the display, and here we have some sort of on-off standby. Okay. Because it has a turn on button in the back that I didn't show you. There you have it, right there. And here we have heating. I don't know if you can see what it says, but it says 300 C and 662 F. And I suppose that means that's where it's at, because as you can see, if I point with something else, you can see this bar here and this little display of a thermometer on the side. I can't speak. Thermometer right here. And you can see here it says, so if I press down, I'm going down. So now I'm past, and it has a loading bar. So I suppose here is where it will go. I can go down and I can see it. And it doesn't, you can't just hold it in and, yeah, you can. Yeah, never mind. You can hold it in. And then you can go to max, which is a little bit past 450 or 842. I don't know, can you see that writing right there? Let me know if you can. Maybe if I center it in the screen a little bit. It's a very easy thing. Actually, you have the display here, you have the soldering iron there. Let's turn this down again, because I don't think we need to be that. We'll go to 400 degrees right there, or there, I suppose. So let's zoom out now that it's ready, and just put a little bit of solder and everything, and just see what happens. All right. So I have this tiny little board here. It's just a DC jack and an input jack. It's from a video that you guys haven't seen yet, but hopefully I managed to do the video before you see this. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just solder something, like a wire or something, to this and see what happens. So let's take our tip and let's pre-tin the tip for our first time and see what happens. I like the grip. Solder flows into the tip pretty nicely. That's good. Let's clean it off. See how that works. Yeah. That looks good. So at least, you know, that's something. Let's put a little bit of solder here and see if we can get them to flow together. We can. That was nice. And let's that went rather well. Clean the tip a little bit. Put it back in there. It's not holding it very well. I don't know. Like when I put it in, I kind of want it to stay in the middle, but I kind of want to go up. It can't hit it up there, so I guess it doesn't matter. But maybe I can get another one of these that is a little bit bigger, because I just feel like if it goes in like that, I just feel like it will. Maybe it won't. It doesn't feel safe. Let's order something more. But yeah, there it is. And now I'll just turn this off, I think. If I put it to standby, it's basically the same thing as just going back down to 250 and just keeping it there. Like if you have to walk away for a couple of minutes or do something else real quick, you can just put it in standby and you don't have to reheat the entire thing and wait for it to get up, and then you can just press it and it will go back up to, for example, 400, which is what I put it to right now, just for this quick little demo. Let's turn this off and wait a month and see what I think about it then. Okay, so I'm back, and now I've been able to work with this soldering iron for a while, and so I was thinking I'd let you know what I think about it after doing that. So yes, it's actually surprisingly nice. I thought I wouldn't like it, but the whole, you know, wheel, and you see where you are in a sort of reference to everything else is kind of a nice touch. And the loading bar thing is actually maybe the thing I like the most, because it sort of lets you know you're almost there. Calm down. It's more of a psychological thing, I think. The other one had two settings, and you could see the heat you've set the iron to be, and then the other one showed you how hot it actually was and how close it was getting to the actual heat. And that was sort of nice. I miss having an actual pot that I was moving and a control that was physical instead of this digital display. But I kind of like this digital display. It is smaller and it is lighter. As I said before, I did add it to a base, so here it is now. And yeah, I made a base and I glued it to it. I was thinking I'd paint it, but I haven't done that, and I honestly don't think I will ever do it or get to it. I also, after I glued it on the base, realized that maybe I should have glued it further to one side, so I could have glued this down as well, so that I could have made sure I had everything together. I gotta say, I enjoy this handle. It's a nice one. I like the grip. It has texture things that fits well. You have a better grip on this one than on my old one. I can tell that immediately. It's smaller. It's just fits better, both in your hand, but also inside of, for example, pedals, which is what we're building here on the channel. So yeah, that's good. There is some sort of thing. I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear that? But it's like there's something loose in it, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't know. I've been thinking if I should try to take this apart, but I don't want the headache, because there are no screws except for these up here. So yeah, I don't want to do that. It's not a big deal. And maybe it's just like, it could be that there's a weight in this, you know, sort of like a dead blow hammer or something, but I don't think it's that. I think there's something that is, that there is some sort of wiggle room or gap in there that is making that. There, you can hear it. There's something here. I can sort of. Yeah, that was the right movement. It's a little bit annoying at time, because it like off-centers your balance and makes it a little bit harder to move around the solder iron in a way. And yeah, I still feel like this thing could have been shaped a little bit different, because I do have some moments where I haven't dropped it or had any issues, but I feel like when I put this in and I'm focused on something else, that I sometimes miss it, and then it pulls my focus away from what I'm doing, and that could potentially be an issue. You want to just be able to put it away and not have it in your head. You want to keep your focus on what you're doing. I also don't like, I feel like I'm only saying the things I don't like, but there isn't that much to say about the things I like it's a soldering iron, it works, it's fine. You know, the next thing, I haven't looked into this, but I think that I'm gonna have issues with the soldering tip. Once I actually need to switch this out, it's a convoluted system. On other ones, I've been able to like get off-brand ones or different brands version, and I've been able to just modify them a little bit and make them work and fit. And that way I've been able to use tips that aren't available really. And I feel like that's not going to be a thing that I can do with this one, and that the only tips I'll be able to use are the ones that this soldering iron is made, like the tips that are made for the soldering iron. And that could potentially be an issue or a problem, especially if when I go to switch it out, I find that replacement ones are a lot more expensive, for example. I haven't looked into it, but I can see that be an issue. I wish all soldering iron just had this sleeve here, and you just put the soldering iron in here and it was just pressed up against. But here, it's a hollow tip. I can't get it off now because it's fused together, but this one is like a sleeve that goes over, so it's hollow. And it's just stupid and convoluted. It doesn't have to be that, because this is already a hollowed tube. It's one of those things that you probably should care a little bit more about when you go to do it. But I again, as I said, I was sort of in the middle of doing a bunch of things, and I didn't have the time to really deep dive into trying to figure out which soldering iron was the best for me. And if you're in that situation, this is going to be good enough. Like, you can definitely use this to build all your pedals, and if you take care of your tip really well, then you won't ever really need to replace it. You can have the same tip for 25 years. I haven't been soldering for that long. I have ruined my fair bit of tips, because that's what you do in the beginning. When you start learning how to solder and stuff like that, you're gonna ruin a tip or two, and I've ruined more than a tip or two. So don't worry about it. But yeah, if you feel like need to replace your tip, it's a good thing to think about those things, especially if you're a beginner, to get a soldering iron that is easily replaceable tips are available without too much effort. That's what I say. Now, I suppose if you're a beginner, you will also ask this question: should you get just a soldering iron, the kind you put into your wall and that heats up and then you're good to go, or should you get a station like this? And the answer is yes, you definitely should. If you are going to solder, and not just pedals but anything, if you're going to solder anything and do that more than once or twice, then this is the thing you should get. You should get something like this at least. And this one is definitely good enough for a beginner or someone that's been soldering for several years. There are nicer, bigger, better, more professional looking stations that you can definitely get, that probably are better, where you can really dial in the heat you need. And I would say that this video is not even relevant to you if that's the sort of level of soldering iron you need. But for a beginner or a hobbyist or whatever you want to call yourself, I think this is definitely good enough. Considering that everything is so expensive nowadays, I would say that it's not that crazy, the price. And if you can get a good deal, go for it. But you definitely need to attach it to a base, because I feel like it's a bit too easy to push it over and make it fall over, and that could, especially in like a workshop where you might have chemicals and things like that, be really, really dangerous. I have some chemicals that would burn this entire place down if the soldering iron fell into them. Obviously, I do my best to keep them far away from each other. But yeah, anyway, you have to glue it down to a base. Sort of do it like I did. That's all I have to say about it in a sort of rambly way. I wish I had something more to say, but yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 9 schmeckles. And yeah, I think that's good enough. I think that's above average. I think that's a nice even number. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope this little review helped you. It wasn't very in-depth or anything, but I don't really feel like I have much to say. You can control the heat, all you need to know about it. And until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool, and go and solder something. Can be anything. It doesn't even have to be something that is broken. You can just take two things that work and solder them together. See what happens. I don't know. But I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.